Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? I just wanted to say hello that we'll be starting in just 1 or 2 minutes. I'm just setting everything up so that we will be ready to go. Okay, I think I've got it set up with the question box open and ready for you guys. Can you guys do me a favor, say hello in the chat box so that I can make sure that it's all working, please? Right here, if you haven't seen it yet, it should be all good there. Okay, great. Anybody else? Can you guys just say hello? I'd like to know where you guys are from. I would like to just say hi to you because we're all here, and the more we chat and interact, the more fun we will have. Hi, Jack from Florida. Whom else is there in the group? There's a lot of people in the room, so I'd like to know, where are you guys all from? I want to know which part of the world we're all visiting from. You can come in and say hello. And here I am. Hi, everybody. Oh, there's my towel. My son just took a shower. Hi, Yulia. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. Thank you so much for joining. Hello, Trader is from Atlantic City. What's your name, Trader? I've been to Atlantic City several times. I really enjoy it there. We don't go for gambling. I actually just like the atmosphere there. I like that it's on the beach. It's really pretty. Who else is in the room? There's only 4 people that are responding, but there's like over 100 people in the room. So come on, guys. Let's go. Let's say hello. Let's be interactive. I always say day trading is not a spectator sport. So if you guys are just sitting and kind of hanging out and being a spectator on the presentation, you're going to get the same results when you're trading, just being spectators. So, hi, where are you from? Hi, Eva from San Diego, right? I actually lived in San Diego. I lived in Pacific Beach. Loved San Diego. Who else is here? I'd love to say hello and for us to know each other. You know, what's interesting is that a lot of times people that enter these rooms, these presentations, a lot of times even get to know one another and then become friends with each other. So it's kind of cool. Mike from Quebec. I love Quebec. I used to go to Montreal every year for 10 years in a row. We used to ski a little bit north of Montreal, like 2 hours north around Mont Tremblant. I don't know if you know that area. So beautiful, so precious there. Definitely some of my best memories of my childhood. You're still eating turkey. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Hi, Scott from East Tennessee. Very cool. I don't know Tennessee very well. I've been to, well, Memphis, I think Nashville. Other than that, I don't really know much of the beautiful parts of it, like with the nature and whatnot. But I heard it's a gorgeous city, a gorgeous state. All right, guys, anybody else that wants to say hello while we're waiting for the rest of the people to join in? Because the room is filling up and I just want to say hello. I want us to be able to interact with one another and have a good time, right? We took out of our day right now the most precious commodity that we could ever have, and that's time, right? The fact that we are all here together, it's this preciousness. So time is limited. So the best thing we could do with time is take every moment as amazing, right? Like that's what I try to do right now. Live each moment as richly as possible because it goes fast, right? It goes fast. So being here right now, guys, I want you to take advantage of talking to me, of asking any questions. Yes, I will be totally showing you a presentation, and I know that you will learn something really important today. But I always find when you ask questions, that's the most important thing. The market is dumping. I prefer not to look at the long-term version of the market right now as far as my portfolio, but it's been really good for day trading. So if you're day trading, don't look at it as a dumping, just look at it as a great opportunity. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to turn off my webcam so that I don't distract you by you looking at me only, and we can focus on the presentation. And I'm going to begin. So, as I said, I'm here to teach you something, but the more questions you guys ask, the more you will get out of it. And there is no such thing as a dumb question. Every question is really important. A lot of times when you ask one question, a lot of people will be like, "Oh yeah, I I had that question as well." So it's a question that could help the rest of the people as well. So please don't be shy and go for it. So hi everybody, I am Marina, the Trader Chick. This is me. And today, what I want to cover a lot about is I want to get into the whole understanding of day trading. There's a lot of myths, there's a lot of limiting beliefs that surround day trading and the financial markets. And when you start to bust those myths, so much more opens up to you. Okay. Also, trading. A lot of people want to trade everything and end up trading everything poorly. So I really want to focus and zone in on that. Day trading lingo. It's unbelievable to me the amount of people that say that they are trading and they don't have a single word understanding. They don't even know the difference between a short and a long and a sell and a buy. So I really want to talk a lot about that because those things will completely change the way you do everything. All right. So let's begin. Before I do jump in, I want to give you a quick intro of who I am. I am Marina, the Trader Chick. I'm actually in Guatemala. I live in Antigua, Guatemala. I'm an expat here. I've been here for almost 14 years. I absolutely love living here. It's one of my favorite places to raise my kids and to live here. And before I became a day trader, I was actually a fitness instructor and a travel writer. And the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of people think, well, I need to have a financial background, a math background, an economic background. None of those things are true. You can come from anywhere and be anything, okay? As long as you study and understand how to read the technical analysis and how to understand how to trade and what it's about and understand what is happening. And that's what we're going to be learning today. So I'm also trilingual. And the main reason why I bring this up is, first of all, I'm a refugee from the Soviet Union. So when I was born, my main language, my mother language is Russian. But I moved to the United States. We migrated when I was really young to the US. So English is my main language. And when I learned English, it wasn't because I learned it like as a language. It was just like a continuation of learning. So it happened really quickly, like almost overnight. Within 3 months, I was completely fluent because when you're little, you don't feel the learning process. However, Spanish, I learned in my later years. I was in my late 20s when I learned Spanish. And when you learn a new language, it's a whole process, right? A lot of people forget that there's a massive process that goes with it. First of all, you have to be super committed. Secondly, you have to practice, 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 practice. You cannot enter a room with all Spanish speakers who don't speak a word of your language and not know what they're saying and pretend that you could just blend into their conversation and keep up, right? It doesn't work that way. Yet it's amazing to me the amount of people jump into the markets without any understanding what's going on. And when I realized that after really trading for quite some time and struggling, I realized that the market, the day trading market and the financial markets, it's a language. And when you learn how to speak the language, everything changes, right? If I want to have a strong relationship with a Spanish speaker, I need to speak Spanish. I can't just pretend that I might know one or two words or understand their gestures. And it's the same thing with the financial markets. And that is such a big deal that a lot of people forget to do that. Okay. Oh, thanks, Eva. I appreciate it. All right. So, what is the cool thing about trading? You can do it from anywhere. I trade with one chart. That means one computer, and I could take it anywhere. And travel is a really big part of our lives. I literally just came back yesterday from Florida. We are going to be going to Mexico in 2 weeks for about a month. I mean, we are constantly on the move. So being able to work from anywhere is a really big, big deal. And I've been featured on quite a lot of a lot of different shows. I used to do a lot in-person shows like the Money Show, Traders Expo, before COVID. But then once COVID hit, I really love sitting in my house and being virtual with you guys. And it just opens up to a lot more people as well. All right, guys. So we are now going to jump in. Like I said before, the more questions you ask, the more you will learn. All right. And that's what I'm here for. I want you guys to learn, to participate, to interact. All right. So, what in the world is day trading and why is it not investing? As I mentioned earlier, I don't remember who said it. It just says trader that the market is dumping. So, here's the thing. We day traders, you don't want to diversify when you are day trading. With investing, you have your whole portfolio, right? It's robust, it's diversified, and you're okay with the swings. Like right now, the market is going down, but it's gonna go back up, right? It's gonna go back up. That's just the way the things work. Usually, a bigger retracement leads to a much stronger market. That's just how it works. You just got to deal with what's happening. Day trading, on the other hand, you don't want to be looking at the entire market. You want to be focused on one specific thing. And I'm going to get really detailed into what those specific things are. But the least you diversify, the better. Here's a good example. Imagine your child coming up to you and saying, "Hey, mama, I want to learn how to play a musical instrument." And you're like, "Oh, great. What do you want to play?" Well, and they respond, "I want to play the piano, the guitar, the drums, and the flute." And you're looking at them and you're like, you have to choose one because you can't master them all. They're all so different, right? So the same thing goes for the financial markets. And interestingly enough, the financial markets, what we call all those different things, are instruments. So you cannot go into forex and also options and futures, or trade a different, a varied amount of equities, because they're all so different. So this is the thing, guys. Think of Liberace. I don't care if you love him, hate him, judge him. I don't care. The point is, we could all 100% agree the guy was a master. He was a master at the piano. I can guarantee you, if he sat down and pretended and wanted to pick up the guitar, he'd probably be really good at it, right? He's just a musical kind of guy, but he knew where his craft was. He knew what his specialty was. And that's the exact same thing. Um, aren't there specific rules about day trading? There are rules about everything, but when you stick to rules, you become too rigid, you become too close-minded, because day trading is not black and white. There are certainly going to be rules, and I am going to be going over that today, but you need to be open-minded. Like the saying goes, learn the rules and then you could break them. Okay? So this is super important, guys. Honestly, the one thing you're going to get from me today is find that one thing that you can master it. And once you master that, then you could go and learn how to trade other markets, other instruments. The other thing about investors is they care about the companies they are investing in, right? Right now, the market is tanking. But for instance, I have a very robust portfolio. I chose a lot of the stocks that I'm in, the companies that I'm in, and I'm okay with them going down right now because the overall consensus for everything is just down, right? But I believe in them. I believe in their structure. I believe in what they're doing. I am invested in them. When you're trading, you do not care one bit if Apple is coming out with an iPhone 15, because that's in 6 months to a year. You care what's going on right this very second, right? That's what investing is about. It's about sticking to one company or many companies that you're invested in and just sitting through the ups and downs. But with day trading is that we love to see the market going up or going down, because we don't care, because we can make money when the market is going up or when the market is tanking, because it's all about technical analysis. It's all about in the moment. And why is this important as well? Because if you're investing, you're not going to be looking at a 1 minute or a 3 minute chart, right? It's completely useless. However, if you're day trading, you're not going to be looking at a week chart or a month chart or a year chart because that's useless. So understanding what you are doing is really critical to the charts that you're going to be looking at as well, because that's going to help you become a much better trader. And if that's a rule that and that's a rule that I definitely don't recommend breaking because it's actually completely pointless. But if you're day trading, stick to the charts that are going to be proportional to your time frame. Okay, now let's bust some of these myths about trading because there are so many myths, and a lot of people hold themselves back because they think these myths are the truths, and they're not. Okay, first and foremost, this is my favorite, that it's too risky. Day trading is gambling. All right, let me give you this example. If you want to learn how to fly a plane, are you going to hop into a plane without having any idea where anything is? Miraculously, I don't even know, you don't know, somehow manage to take off, and then you're going to crash, land, because you have no idea how to crash. Is that risky? No, it's stupid. Why is it stupid? Because it's a known fact that if you want to be a pilot, you're gonna learn how to be, you're gonna go to pilot school. You're gonna learn what's going on in the cockpit. You're gonna do simulation hours. You're gonna work with a coach that's gonna help you, right? I mean, an instructor, right? Then it takes that risk away. Day trading is the same. Just because there's 95 people, 95% of the people that pretend that they're day trading just literally have some money, there's zero barrier to entry, go in, put their money, and think they're going to do well. Of course, they're going to lose because they have absolutely no idea what's going on in the market. And then they're all going to say, oh, it's risky, it's gambling. No, it's not. You don't have a clue what's happening. You need to put in the time to learn. And 90% of that risk is off the table because now you know what you are doing. And that is critical. The other thing is that you need $25,000 to get started. A total myth. First of all, crypto you could get started with like $100, Forex $100, futures $500, equities there is no. You could get started with whatever. What is the $25,000 myth? Brokers, and I'm going to get much more into this because a lot of people don't understand what brokers do. But brokerage companies, they tempt you with this idea that they can give you a margin account. What is a margin account? Margin account is loan sharking. Okay, it is them lending you money. You could only get a margin account if you have $25,000 or more. First and foremost, margin accounts are not obligatory. They are not mandatory, and you need to say, I don't want a margin account, because what is a margin account? You want to buy all these stocks or whatever you want, and they are lending you a certain amount of money. So now you have this money that you can borrow to buy more from. They don't care if you win or lose because you need to pay that back, and you need to pay it back with an interest. Okay, and if you don't have that money, they will go after your other assets like your house, your car, literally loan sharking. So you do not need to have $25,000. You also do not need to have any math or financial background at all. I never look at my numbers. I don't care. My profit and losses, I can figure it out. And if I can't figure it out, I get a calculator to see what my profit and loss is. I never have to do any sort of algorithms or algebras. I mean, that's total lie. Total lie. Technical analysis does not require any mathematical backgrounds and certainly no financial background whatsoever. The other thing is that it's so stressful and so chaotic. Well, if you're sitting in front of this craziness, this is such a myth, guys, because a lot of times we look at, on YouTube or in movies that people have all these different charts and all this different stuff going on. This is so unsustainable. You will burn out in less than a year, if that much. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this one show, really funny show. It's an old show. It's called Queen of Kings. No, sorry, King of Queens. King of Queens. Really cute sitcom. And there's this one episode where the main character buys this 96-inch television. Then, because such an old show, this is during direct TV time, and he puts it into this TV room and he invites all his buddies in, and then he sits there, they're sitting there and they are switching the channels because there's over 1,300 channels. And finally one of his friends is like, stop, you're going to trigger my epilepsy. When you look at this, this is literally triggering epilepsy or another kind of a trigger. This is not sustainable. This will make anybody stressed out. Even if you don't trade or do anything with financial markets and you just enter the room, you're already stressed out because there's too much going on. Nobody can handle this much, right? There's a reason why NASA has 100 people working all their charts and their graphs and their screens, because you cannot focus on everything. You guys have to cut this out, okay? I used to have 3 monitors and I was constantly in analysis paralysis. I had 3 monitors and 10 indicators, constantly in analysis paralysis, constantly stressed out, losing money. Finally decided I literally just shut everything off. I donated 2 of my monitors. I say donated, I put it out for the garbage man, but they were less than a year old, removed all my indicators, and now I work with one chart, 2 indicators, and it's actually fun. It's peaceful. You don't need this. You don't need all these softwares. You don't need all these indicators, okay? The only people that are making money from selling these softwares, indicators, and algorithms are the people selling the stuff, because nobody is making money from the actual markets using them. You've got to get past the shiny object syndrome. It's an actual syndrome. Stop it. You don't need it. Your charting platform will give you all that you need for free. It's included in what you're paying for the charting software. You do not need to go crazy with it. All right. News. Guys, there's that whole thing, right? Buy on the rumors, sell on the news. We never know what's really going on. To keep up with it will literally just drive you insane. I call these totally telenovela types of melodramas. You need to focus on the technical analysis. All right, technical analysis is your best friend. Another thing is, and this is such a huge myth, and I was there, and I can guarantee the majority of pro traders all started here, being trigger happy. I remember sitting for 2 or 3 hour sessions and getting like 60 trades. So ridiculously stupid, super unsustainable. I was losing money just in commissions alone. And I realized that, even though I don't like this analogy, but the reality is we are very similar to big game hunters, professional traders. In what sense? A big game hunter does not go out and shoot at every little cockroach, every little field rat, every little prairie dog. They sit and they wait for the big game. A pro trader maybe will take between 1 to 3 trades that are highly profitable and are really are at least 80% or more win ratio. Okay. You learn that through learning. You don't just jump in. Being a trigger happy person will lose you money, and it will definitely make you feel horrible, right? You don't want to be here. You don't ever want to have this on your chart. Okay. And if you're doing it now, what I actually was telling a lot of my students after they've went through the course, we do a 1 month challenge. Usually 1 month is a good amount of time. It's the 1 trade per day challenge. And that helps you really filter out a lot of the crappy stuff that you thought were good trades. When you're looking at it, you're like, because you could only do 1 per day, and it has changed and transformed their entire way of doing it, right? Because I always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively. Being a conservative trader is actually sustainable. When you're looking at all these aggressive big moves, you don't hear about their aggressively horrible fails, okay? This is what's going to keep you going. Those small profits daily is what's going to give you those big profits yearly. It's going to be sustainable. It's going to make you a consistent livelihood trader, which I think the majority of people really want to do, is to be consistent, right? Is to be going on a daily basis to be profitable. All right. The other thing is, and I coined this term, but this is a real deal: fear of missing a trade. FOMAT. All right, you guys probably have heard of FOMO, fear of missing out. This is fear of missing a trade. because this used to eat me alive. I used to, oh my goodness, I'm missing a trade. I started chasing trades. And when you start to chase a trade, you're in a totally emotional state of mind. That means you are in a loser state of mind. You have to be very rational when you're trading, very logistic, right? FOMAT, guys, it's a real thing. Stop it right now, because here's the secret. There is always another trade coming. There is always another trade coming. Think of surfers, right? When you're thinking of surfers, what do? They ride waves. If an amateur surfer will be like, "Oh my goodness, I'm missing this trade," and want to try and hop on a trade on the wave, right? And they miss the wave, they chase the wave, and because they have this fear that there's going to be not no more waves coming. I mean, that's crazy, right? The Mother Earth, the ocean is constantly giving you good waves. The market is like the ocean; it is constantly going to give you new trades. So just relax. Don't chase trades, guys, because it always leads to a really bad thing. Okay, you chase a trade, you're emotional, then you start to revenge trade. It's not worth it. Okay, now let's get back to what to trade. Back to that one instrument. A lot of times people come to me and they're like, okay, I open up a brokerage account, I'm ready to trade. I'm going to get into the broker in just a little bit, but you need to first know what you want to trade rather than go the opposite direction, right? You need to, there's going to be some markets that call you more than others, and it's okay to experiment in the beginning, but you need to eventually settle on the one. So let's talk about what is there to trade. First and foremost, Forex, right? Forex is probably the largest, which is foreign exchange currencies. It's the largest market out there, right? And what it is you're trading pairs, right, against one another. The biggest one this year has been euro versus the dollar, right? Like they've just been bouncing back and forth. That has been like the biggest one to really trade. There's many others. And even in the Forex market, you really need to focus on at least two, at the most two pairs. I wouldn't recommend more than that because it could get really stressful. Okay. Equities. I love it when I ask people, what do you trade? And they're like, stocks. I'm like, what does that even mean? The US market alone has over 5,000 stocks to trade with, right? You can't trade them all. That's crazy. So the people that really succeed, it gets broken down, right? Like I said, you really need to break it down and really niche it down. There's magic in the niche, right? They always say the riches are in the niches, and the riches are in their niches. That's it, niches. It's the same thing with trading, right? So, for instance, sectors. You could trade pharmaceuticals, you could trade technologies, you could trade entertainment. Okay, you could trade different sectors that could, and then focus on those. Or you could only trade the big caps or the small caps. I personally hate penny stocks and the whole idea of it, but if you're going to do penny stocks, do penny stocks. Don't do everything else. Okay. And also, I know a lot of really amazing traders that only focus on specific instruments. Amazon, Facebook, Microsoft, Tesla, right? Like those really can make you really wealthy if you focus on it because you're really understanding what is going on. You're in the moment. Futures. This is another one. When people tell me, oh, I trade futures. So you're trading crude, wheat, S&P 500. It's literally like getting into three different vehicles on three different roads and trying to be in them all at the same time. It's ludicrous, right? Wheat market does not ever work as the S&P market as crude. So even inside futures, I really recommend focusing on the one thing. I personally love the S&P, which is the ES minis. I love the ES minis. They are probably the second largest market out there to trade. So it's very volatile. It moves really well. And that's important, right? You don't want to be in an erratic market where you don't really know what's going on. Crude is known to be like erratic all over the place. So it's a little bit harder to keep up with. Okay. Options. Honestly, if you're going to be doing options, stick to options. It really helps you focus on just that market, right? Rather than being all over the place. And then we have crypto. Okay. Yes, crypto right now is totally out of control. But again, it will be regulated, maybe not through the government, but it will find its pace again because crypto is here to stay. But again, when you're telling me you're trading crypto, what does that mean? Oh, I do Bitcoin. Bitcoin is one out of 6,000. Okay, so again, there are 6,000 alt coins, projects, all of that. So focus on that. Okay, now let's talk about brokers because this is such a huge misconception that a lot of people get really lost in it and end up losing a lot of money because of it. What is a broker? Broker is your middle guy. If you want to go and buy jeans, chances are you're not going to go to the distributor, right? Because you're going to have to buy in bulk. You go to a store to buy the jeans. Brokers are the stores where you could buy whatever market you're in. Their one and only goal is to make money from whatever you're buying or selling. They do not care if you are good at what you are doing. They could care less about that. All right. And it's really important to understand. You also will not go into a candy store to buy jeans, right? You need to also know which broker is good for the market you want to trade. If you want to do crypto, you're not going to go to a TD Ameritrade. If you want to do futures, you're not going to go to Kraken or Coinbase, right? That's the importance of understanding about brokers. Now, as I mentioned before, margin accounts. Brokers will try to swoon you into getting a margin account. What is a margin account? It's a loan sharking deal, right? What is it? They are lending you money. You do not ever need to have a margin account, ever. Okay, guys, it's already hard enough to be trading and using the money that you have. You really do not want to go into debt. And if you lose, even more debt. Okay, it's just not good. Please remember that. So, again, you need to find out which market you want to be doing and then look for the specialized broker in it. I'm a futures trader, so I am with a futures broker. And what does that do for me? A lot. That's their specialty. They're also giving me really good commissions. They're also working well with the charting platform. So you really need to understand that, okay? Um, Marketing sales pitch. Have I sold anything to anyone yet? I am teaching you guys to avoid you losing money. This guy actually, he's been a troll in many places. So just so you guys know. Anyways, margin accounts, don't go there. All right, now commissions. If you are if you want to trade crypto and you are with an equities broker and they're telling you that they could do some crypto for you, guess what? They're going to be overcharging you because they are not specialized in that. You need to find your specialty. Guys, it's so important. I cannot even tell you the amount of people that lose money on this. Okay. I cannot even tell you how much money is a loss because people don't understand these basics. People are putting in windows without building the walls. It is so important. Please, guys, it's really, really, really important for you to understand even how to find the proper broker. Okay. And about the margin accounts and all of that, it will save you money. Again, I am with a futures broker, my commissions are really low. I used to be with an equities broker that said that they did futures. It was literally 2 times more expensive. Now, the other thing is you need feed. If you want to be a day trader, you cannot be on delayed feed. You need to pay for the feed. The feed is literally like gasoline for your car. Does that make sense to you? You cannot drive without gasoline. You cannot look at your charting software without feed. And you need to find that a lot of charting softwares offer that with it. And a lot of brokers give you feed, but you need to really understand it is in the moment live feed. And sometimes you will have to pay for it. And that's okay. All right. I keep on saying about platforms. You cannot trade without a platform. Guys, you cannot be a Formula One driver in a minivan. Okay. You need the proper vehicle. Okay. There are so many platforms out there today. When I first started 11 years ago, there was very few, right? So today there are quite a lot. And if you guys have any questions about it, I'm happy to help you choose the right one for you. Again, a lot of the platforms will also work with the market that you want to trade, obviously, but it's really important to understand to have the proper platform. And yes, that you will pay money for, but that's the only thing you'll pay money for because they usually come with universal indicators. All right. You have to understand this. I cannot even tell you, you cannot be putting in your windows without putting in your walls first. A lot of people, just because they have some money, think that they could just get into the market. And that's not how it works, because you will lose it all. Okay. Now, let's talk about day trading lingo. Any field in the world that you do has its own lingo, right? If you want to be a doctor, they have lingo, like they, stat and all these things I wouldn't even understand if I entered that world even for half a minute, right? That's why we have all these different shows showing us these medical shows, and they're always speaking these languages that, we have to adjust to. Even driving a car, if you've never driven a car and you get in the car and you're like, all right, put your gear in first, remove your foot slowly from the clutch, now switch gears, put it, you're like, gear, clutch, what are you talking about, right? That is a lingo. Day trading, the financial markets, if you don't understand the lingo, you will be losing your money. So there are basics that you can learn and be way above immediately, okay? So let's begin. First of all, intraday trading. What does that mean? Literally, you're in and out of all of your positions within the day. Why is that important? Because this way you are also looking at a chart that is 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You're not looking at a week chart. Okay. Swing trading, that's overnight and a little bit longer. And then you can look at a different timing frame. Investing, it's a longer term. So you need to understand this. Okay. So important. Okay. Jeff, I've noticed that to get tight live market spreads, I have to pay a small amount in Forex. Yes, exactly. That is the fee. Pay that, guys. Buy the gasoline for your car. If you're driving a BMW, you're not going to feed it crap unleaded gasoline. You're going to spend the little extra. If you guys want to make money at this, there are some things you do need to pay a little bit more for. All right, bull market, guys. What is that? It's literally the market going up. It's the market trending up. Bear market. That's actually what we're in right now, right? We're in a bear market. The market is going down, crashing, whatever. Then we also have trends. We have the upward trend, the downward trend, and the most important trend of all is the sideways trend. Why is it the most important trend of all? Because this is where the majority of the money gets lost. Why? Because this is the indecision zone, the consolidation zone, the chop, the exhaustion pattern, whatever you want to call it. It is a very important trend to understand and to avoid at all costs, because that's where the majority of your money gets lost. Now, I want to talk about profit target and risk management. Profit target is as important as a risk management. What does that mean? Means when you enter a trade, you are telling the market where you want to be profited at and where you want to hit the target. Why? Because guess what, guys? Greed will always take over. Your ego will always win. You do not want that. If you want to do split targets, great, but get your money out as fast as you can to give you that confidence and to make you understand that you have done the right thing. I cannot even tell you the amount of times people tell me, oh, I put a target profit in, but the market was going in that direction. I removed it and then it went the other way and I didn't have a risk management and I lost it all. All right. Greed will win. And then your ego will take over, telling you that it will turn and it will go again, in your direction again, and you'll lose everything. You need to have your target profit in. What is a risk management? Is you are literally in control of the market, telling the market, this is all I am willing to risk on this trade. Because a mental risk will never work. Think of a mental risk as putting on a mental seatbelt on your baby when you're getting into the car and then thinking somehow you will save them in a car crash. It is a completely ludicrous idea. It doesn't work. Risk management, you need to put that seatbelt on and you need to keep it in place until the market is so unwilling to risk on that. So important. Okay, guys, so important. Ego is the killer of everything. So you need to tame it. And the way you tame it is you put in certain parameters, okay? A profit target, a risk management. You also know how much you want to put into the market. What I personally do with my account is in my trading account, I only have the minimum amount I'm going to be trading. And then I move it over into my other account once I finish the day with my profits. because I've already lost 2 or 3 accounts, right? I don't want to lose more than the amount I have, right? So you're always putting parameters in. Again, guys, charts. I'm going to say this a million times. You cannot be scrolling on your iPhone on Robinhood and thinking that you're a day trader. You're not. It doesn't work like that, okay? Indicators. This is amazing to me. There are so many people that come to me with their charts buzzing and full of indicators. And I'm like, what are these indicators doing? They're like, well, this guru said that this indicator is good. And this YouTuber said this guy. And this guy said this one. I'm like, great. It might work for them, but are they working for you? I used to have 10 indicators. I was in constant analysis paralysis. And some of those indicators I was using, the Bollinger Band, Kettler Band, Fibonacci's, people think that they are great and they are must haves. They actually never worked for me. I was constantly losing with them because I thought that they had to. So what I decided to do, I completely stripped my charts, completely bare naked charts, and then I started to put in each indicator one at a time to see which works, to the point where I ended up with only 2 indicators. You need to see what works for you. Okay, what is working for you? And that's going to be the best thing for you. Trending markets. So I've already explained this to you guys. There's 3 trends. A lot of people think there's only 2. There's 3. The sideways trend is the killer trend. You need to understand it and avoid it. All right. This is amazing to me that you would think that this most basic terminology, a lot of people don't even understand. You are buying. You are going long. What does that mean? Basic terminology, you are literally entering at a lower price point, exiting at a higher price point, and you're taking the profit in between. You are buying, you are going long. Selling or going short. It's the opposite, okay? The easiest way to explain it, you are entering the market at a higher price point, exiting at a lower price point, and taking all the profit in between. If you're sitting here and being like, oh, I never go short, other people are losing money, who cares about those other people? You're not those other people. Do you even know who they are? Day traders make more money on the shorts than they do on the sells, okay? That's how it goes. Guys, it's so important to understand the difference and understand it. Now, how do you decipher yourself from an amateur trader to a pro trader? First and foremost, stop with the market entries. What is a market entry? You are literally telling the market that you have no idea what's going on, and you're looking at it and you're like, oh, this looks kind of good, and you're just entering without a strategy. So what does the market do? It actually penalizes you by doing slippage. Have you guys heard of slippage? That's another terminology that you should really learn. So for instance, if you want to day trade and you want to go in and you want to get 1 point, I don't know, or $1, let's say you're looking at Amazon, you want to go for $1, but you don't know where to enter, you're entering market entry, immediately the market will remove 20% of what you want to already gain, right? So if you're saying that you're entering at 123, it's going to enter you at 123.25. So immediately you already lost that 25 cents. That's why you need to do limit orders. You are telling the market, this is the price point where I want to enter. This is where I want to be filled. You need to understand the difference. That is going to really make such a huge, huge difference. It is basic. A lot of people overlook the basics. And when you're saying to yourself it's too basic, that means you're not completely on the basics. If you're above that, super. But 99% of the people don't know the basics. And it amazes me every single time that people are losing thousands and they don't even understand the difference between a buying and a selling. So be as it may, this is so important, guys, and it will completely change everything for you. I can guarantee that. And if you tell me it's not going to change, try it and then come back to me in a month and you'll be like, you know what? The basics has changed my life. Stop limit. So important, guys. Stop limit. You cannot just exit whenever. You're going to be, again, the slippage, you're going to end up losing 25% again. You need to tell the market where you want to be filled on your stop. You need to. Stop with this mental stop loss stuff. It doesn't work. It never will. You need to tell the market, this is all I'm willing to risk on this trade, and that's it. If it doesn't work, I'm okay with it. I'm moving on to the next valid trade. Technical analysis. This is everything. There is nothing else but technical analysis, guys. Nothing else. So what is technical analysis? And the coolest thing about technical analysis, It's free. It is on any chart, any instrument, and you can use it on any platform. All right, beginning, resistance and support area. You guys need to be drawing in your resistance and support areas. And if you're sitting here and not really knowing what they are, you need to get out of the live market right now and learn your support and resistance areas. What is a resistance area? It is literally the ceiling of the market. It is where the market is hitting over and over and over again, 3 or more times. It is the market telling you, at the moment, I don't want to pass this point, but you need to draw it in, because if you don't draw it in, you're not going to know when it transitions or when it breaks out. Support area. It's the floor of the market. It is where the trend is hitting at the bottom, and it is also a good indication where the sideways market is starting to form. So you stay out. You need to understand these. I actually call the resistance support areas as my safety belts of trading, because when I have them drawn in, it cannot be a mental drawing. It has to be drawn in. It saves me from so many bad decisions. And trading is all about good or bad decisions. Reversal patterns. This is the most amazing. This is a gift that the market gives us. Okay. Reversal patterns. They are the telltale signs. What are reversal patterns? It's the double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders. That is just the best thing you can do, and it's free, and it's right there, and it's without a doubt one of the most potent ways to stay out of the market and watch for when the transition happens. Divergence. I live for divergence. I don't do anything without understanding divergence, and if I see divergence, I get out of all of my positions or don't enter. Why? Divergence is telling me that the market is losing its strength. It's losing its strength. Guys, do you really want to be in a place where the market is not strong anymore? What is divergence? So here's a good example. It's pretty simple to see. Your price action is going in one direction. I personally use the MACDs. I know that many people use different indicators. It could be the RSI, whatever. It's going in the opposite direction. That is divergence in your charts. This is going up, this is going down. Is it telling me that it's about to go down? No. What it's telling me is that it's about to lose completely its strength, and you need to slow down, you need to get out, and you need to see what the market is going to do, because the market will tell you what it's going to do. Let's put all of this together. All right. Look, breakout trades are without a doubt the most powerful trades you could be in. If you do not have your areas drawn out, if you do not understand what is going on, you're going to miss out on the breakout. So what is the breakout trade? Very simple. I'm going to explain it to you in total layman's terms. You are down here. You live here. Your best friend lives up here. They call you up and they're like, hey, come on over. I'm having a party. You get in your car. You get on the highway that you've been on this highway 1,000 times, full of energy, full of confidence. And all of a sudden, there's a massive construction area. And the construction worker is like, detour, you got to get off the highway. This is this area. Whenever I get that, I am in total freak out mode. Are they going to continue with the detour signs? Wait, Google Maps and Waze hasn't changed, and they keep on telling me back to the highway. What if I get lost? What if they never reopen the car? So I'm in an area of doubt, right? I'm in full on what if, scared, I'm not sure what's going on. Do I really want to be putting my money into that place right now? Absolutely not. But all of a sudden, the construction worker is like, okay, guys, it's fixed. You can get back on the highway. Boom. This is the breakout. That's you going on that same highway, breaking out. This is the breakout trade. But if you don't draw these areas in, guys, how are you going to be able to understand? How are you going to be able to understand what is going on? Okay, the breakout trade is without a doubt probably the most powerful 90% win ratio trade. So you need to understand it. You have to draw in your resistance areas, draw in your support areas. So this is how I use my MACDs. As you can see here, the dotted line, that's zero. That is zero strength. And you can see here, right? And it's pretty slow. It's in between these areas. But then the breakout happens and boom, look at this massive movement. Look at that massive movement. This is how I take my trades. This is how I read the market. Look at this. There's nothing going on. It's flat. Do I want to be in this market? No. Do I want to be in a market where it's broken out super strong without divergence? Yes. And that's where you make the most amount of your money, to understand that. All right, guys, let's do a little bit of a live market analysis. Okay, so here is today's market. Okay, this is my chart right here. And as you can see right now, we are in a little bit, we have this little area right here. So I like to draw out my areas because when the breakout happens, and it did, look at this beautiful breakout right here. Boom, massive movement, everything. And now look here. You have this support area. And now I personally use these EMA lines as my support and resistance as well, right? Until I see a breakout. But look at this. It's been going down, but there's been massive divergence, right? Look at this divergence. It's telling me already that something slowed down. And then look at that, boom, it totally shifted directions, totally. And now it's kind of stuck here. It's finally starting to break out. So I want to wait to see when it really breaks out to give me that extra confirmation. Okay, that's how I view the markets. Here's another example, right? So obviously we're able to see what happened in the market, but what we want to do is be able to view it as it goes. Look at this strong move, and then boom, it hit here. It didn't go anywhere. That's the thing with areas, right? They already are telling you, wait, this is a revisited area. It might not move as much, and it didn't, right? Until it broke out, and I had my area already here. So I was prepared for the great breakout, which I did. I would have gotten in beautifully. And then I have this particular area, okay? And look at that, boom, I have another breakout. So if you guys start to look at your login, your trading journal, your back testing, you'll start to understand that a lot of your trades happen through breakouts. But you need to be able to identify those trades. And once you can, sometimes you can just do a breakout trade and just look out for the breakout trade and be super successful with it. But you have to understand how that works. You have to understand the technical analysis. You have to see when it breaks out, right? That's the most important thing. Okay, good question. I have, what is the 610? I personally do not use the 1 or the 2 or the 3 or the 5 minute time frame. I use a tick chart. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of the tick chart. So what are ticks? 610 tick chart. For every single candlestick, every bar, I am in real time volume. I don't like the volume indicator because it is notoriously a lagging indicator. The tick chart is literally telling me there's 610 transactions per bar. That's what ticks are. It's transactions per bar. So I'm in real time. This right here is telling me how quickly the transactions are moving, because the quicker it's moving, that means there's volatility going on, right? So I personally prefer the tick chart. I know that there are some platforms that don't work with tick charts. So the closest thing that I am able to notice is 1 to 3 minute charts work very similarly with the tick chart, the 610 tick chart. So that's why I personally prefer the tick chart, because it's in real time. It's telling me the volume in real time. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. So that's what I like to see. Okay, but that's not the only thing I watch, right? This is hitting back and forth. This is a very strong channeling market. It's not really sure what it wants to do, right? It's kind of just back and forth, back and forth. Okay, I want to wait to see when it really breaks through, because that's when it's going to give me that massive confirmation. Guys, don't put your money, your really hard earned money, into the market just because. Remember, avoid that trigger happiness. You need to sit out. Patience is not a virtue, it's a real thing, and you can attain it. It's not difficult to get. Okay? Hopefully that made sense. Again, I am here to answer your questions. I'm literally here to help you with all your questions. All right, guys? Look, all of this is great. All of this is great, right? Like, we have everything, right? We have these live presentations, YouTubers, podcasters, books, all of it is great. But the real question is, how do you really get started? how do you really get started? And I get this question from not only beginners, but seasoned traders. As a matter of fact, I get it more from seasoned traders that are still losing money because they constantly are asking me, how do I turn this around so that I am consistently profitable? That is a really huge thing. And usually it is lacking the understanding of the basics. I know that that sounds basic, but it's not. A lot of times just understanding the basics can truly catapult you to that next level and really, really make a difference. Look, I am in this really amazing position right now. My 18-year-old son just learned how to drive a car. And when we first sat down to teach him to drive the car, oops, when we were like, all right, buckle in, put your gear in first, put your foot on the clutch, on the brake, and then he's like, clutch, where's the clutch? Where's the brake gear? What's the first gear? He didn't understand the basics. We get into a car today, we don't even realize, but we once learned the basics. And if we don't have the basics, we can never move the car forward. That is such an important revelation that people completely overlook it. Okay, look, another great example. Imagine you have a passenger that's never been in the car, ever, never seen a car. Believe it or not, they happen. But just imagine, put yourself into a total beginner's mindset. And they get in and you're like, all right, buckle in. It's going to save your life. Buckle in. They're like, oh my goodness, what is a buckle in? What does that mean? Oh my goodness, and it's going to save my life. I don't know what it is. If you've never been shown a seatbelt, how can you protect yourself? Okay, I want you guys to look at it like that. And a lot of times those things are overlooked when we learn how to trade. And a lot of times it will take you out of I can't do this to the I can. This can be your livelihood. And a lot of times it literally just means going back to the basics. I know that it sounds rudimentary, but it's not. It really is that important. Okay, just getting back to them. And a lot of times we don't know what they are because we were never taught. And this is literally my sad truth. I spent over $20,000 on my education, my trainings, and every single time I was in different chat rooms, different mentors, nobody taught me the basics. And a lot of times when I ask the basics, can you please explain divergence or can you please explain how to draw this support area? They would either completely ignore me or treat it as if though I was born with this information. And that's not the case at all. We learn everything. That's why we can become anything we want whenever we want because we just learn it. So that's the most important thing is, and I struggled for years. I struggled for years because I was never taught. Basically, what I felt like happened to me is that I wanted to learn how to play the flute. I arrived to the academy, and instead of taking flute lessons of how to hold the flute and blow into the flute, I was literally thrown into the symphonic pit and expected to keep up with the professional musicians. We all know that doesn't work. Okay. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was thrown in, I was constantly throwing myself into the symphonic pit to the point where I ended up losing over almost $4,000 within 5 minutes. And that's when I was just like, I'm done. I quit. I couldn't take it anymore. I quit. But here's the reality, guys. Everybody in this room probably can relate. We are all bit by the trading bug. Okay. We are all bit by the trading bug and it never stops itching. And why is that? Because we know deep down inside that we can do this. We can do this. And that's the reality is we can do this. So what did I do? I came back. I quit for like 3 or 4 months and I decided to just get back to the basics. That's when I threw out my monitors. Like I told you, I had 3 monitors. I literally took 2, put them out on the curb. The garbage men are probably still using them because they were brand new HD monitors. Because, we have to spend as much money as possible to do this when you don't. I removed all 10 of my indicators, went back to the bare naked charts until I was able to put in the 2 indicators now that I have back tested for years that really work for me and really, really help. So this doesn't help, get rid of it. This is me today, and it has made such a difference for me. Here's the thing, guys. When in doubt, get back to the basics. About 3 or 4 years ago, one of my students comes up to me and says to me, he's like, Marina, your teaching method is very similar to Coach John Wooden. I'm like, Coach John Wooden, I don't know who that is. So of course I go online and I look and I became completely obsessed with him because This man was a legend. I mean, a legendary basketball coach. Legendary. And his entire teaching philosophy, when in doubt, get back to the basics. I'm not talking about just like sometime winner. This guy won 88 national championships, 10 NCAAs. I mean, this guy trained the superstars of basketball, the best of the best. Yet, every beginning of the season, he would make them relearn how to tie your shoelace, how to roll up your socks, how to dribble the ball, because it doesn't matter what you think you know. If you're out there on your field, your shoelace isn't tied properly, that shoe is going to fall off. You're going to sprain your ankle, maybe break it. Guess what you're doing for the rest of the season, even though you're Mr. Know It All? You're going to be sitting on the bleachers and not participating. You need to get back to the basics. And that's exactly what my boot camp for day trading was created for, is to get back to it. It's the introductory course, boot camp for day trading. You can take it on any apparatus, desktop, laptop, iPhone, Samsung, you name it. You could access it anywhere. This is the next step. Either it's your first step or your next step. This is the step. What do you get in your course? Oops. You start with the simplification program, the day trading simplifying program. The other thing that I have noticed over the years is the amount of hardships my students and I personally went through setting up my platform, because it's new, it's confusing, right? So I actually have a 30-minute platform tutorial, and it could work for any platform, and I help you with it if you cannot figure it out, so that we get into the thing that counts the most, and that is the trading, right? You don't want to be stuck on how to hold the ball and never figure out how to hold the ball and never get on the basketball court. You want to get out there and start playing. Okay, then we really get into the market anatomy, the dissecting of the trends, the movements. Like I said, sideways trends is where you lose almost all your money. So we want to dissect it, understand how to avoid it, really read those telltale signs, the reversals, divergences. We dive deep into all of this. Okay, understanding the defensive mode, the support, the resistance, divergences, guys, they will be so crucial, and they're really easy to spot. But if you don't know what you're looking for, how can you figure it out, right? And mastering the breakout, because the power of the breakout trade is incredible. And if you understand it, can spot it, and get into it, that could be the biggest winner for you with all your markets. Okay. And on top of that, you guys get unlimited access to the curriculum, and that is priceless. All of this is valued at $1,600. You will get all of this, the framework, the market anatomy, the defense zone strategy, the breakout mastery, all of that. And here's what some of my students have to say. And I have students from all over the world, because the cool thing about trading is you can do it from all over the world. That is the coolest thing about trading. Here's Michelle. I just finished the boot camp. The best money I ever spent. You are the only mentor that truly checks the work, that really works with you, helps you, and does it all. I am enjoying your boot camp. I am learning every day. So let me share something really important with you guys. How do you know that you're doing it right? How do you know you're doing it right? It's one thing watching all these people all over the place and listening, but how do you know that you're personally doing it right? Here's the thing. Why is it that CEOs, athletes can work with coaches, and we decide that it's not for us? Because coaching and a mentorship is probably the most important thing of all. And I am including in my special course 1 month for free, unlimited mentorship with me. 1 month for free with me. That alone is priceless. And I also have the best for last. I run a live trading room where it's me. It's not just some moderator or some administrator that is a hired hand. It's me. And I work with you very closely. Not only the mentorship, that's a side of that, also in the live trade chat room. All of this is valued at $2,600. Now, imagine if my course can shorten your trading time by half. Okay, half, and avoid that pain, those frustrations, and all that much needed wasted energy. Wouldn't that be worth that one-time payment of $2,600? Imagine if all this did was cut your learning time in half. Even if all this course did was give you a system which you trust and allows you to be consistent and gives you that confidence, the support, and to know that you could do it. Wouldn't that be worth that one-time payment of $2,600? I have purposely made my course unlike any others. My years of experience, my simplified strategy is what will take you to that next level. It will really, really help you excel. But here's the deal. I could have made this program super cheap, but my investment in my students, at the time I spend with each student during the mentorship, coaching, I cannot offer it to many of my students. I cannot offer it to many people at once because I love to really focus on each student. So you can see why people say this $2,600 for these results, and it's not a cost, it's an investment. It's an investment. So for you guys, because I know that you took your valuable time out to be with me here today to learn, and I really appreciate it. I am giving one-time price, one time for $197. You could go right here, right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go to bootcampfordaytrading.com. bootcampfordaytrading.com. One-time deal, one-time price, $197. You do not get charged again at all. All right. So I'm looking at your questions. Where do you place trading breakouts? So Jenkins, yeah, Jeff, that is part of understanding where the resistance area is, where the MACD is, putting it all together. And that's what you will learn in the boot camp. Okay, bootcampfordaytrading.com. So join me. The thing is, guys, really important. Like I said before, because of my mentorship program, I'm only able to take on 25 students. Because of that program, I can only take on 25 students. So, and it goes really fast. So again, bootcampfordaytrading.com. bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go here, guys. Right now, this is a great time for you to ask me any questions you have. So remember, what goes into this course? The prequel, understanding and setting up your entire trader's workspace, dissecting the trends, the movements, respecting those areas of defense zone strategies, and the power of that breakout. Plus, you get one entire month, 1 month with me, mentoring you, live, feedback, one-on-one, unlimited. Okay, guys, that is priceless alone. And then 30 days in my live trade chat room. 30 days with me. I am going over everything that we are learning in the class, implementing it, taking live trades. That is included in this course. So here's some more testimonials. Thank you so much. I'm working with my way through the boot camp, and it is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So again, values, $2,600. Normally, I open it up for only 25 students, so I really have a very limited amount of space. When you go to the bootcamp for day trading, this is where you're going to end up going. Right here, $197 one-time fee. And if you want to do it in payment plans, it's $119 2 times, and you get all the access to it right away. So go here, bootcampfordaytrading.com, bootcampfordaytrading.com. What platform and chat system do you use? The platform, you will be using your platform. I use a chat system where it's live, it's a webinar software, it's free, it's easy to go. So what happens after the first month of the live group? But you have access 100% all the time. And if you want to continue, it's only $19.99 to continue. So again, bootcampfordaytrading.com, guys. Honestly, this is a no-brainer. So here's the reality, guys. We all know that it's less than one trade that you take per day, $197, right? I mean, I know that my personal trades, I usually take around $500, if not, a little bit more. $197 is usually an average trade that you take and probably end up losing because you don't have everything in place. Here, we will be working together live with your charts so that you really don't ever question, am I doing this right? There's no doubt, right? You want to remove the doubt so that you are going in it right away, understanding everything there is to do. So again, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Let me know, guys, if you have any questions at all. I'm really looking forward to working with you. $197, pretty much a no-brainer. Let's do this. Let's get you guys to that next level that you are profitable consistently. And it is such a doable goal. It is doable. And I'm here to help you guys. So again, let me know if you have any other questions. I am excited to work with you and I'm here to answer any questions. And please go here, bootcampfordaytrading.com. All right, guys, if there's no other questions, thank you so much for being here, taking your time out. And again, I'm looking forward to working with you, bootcampfordaytrading.com. See you in the course.